Hello, it's me, King. Today we're going to talk about the game I've been developing for a couple of months. So without further ado, here's a quick sample of the current state of my game. But let's go back to the beginning. I must admit that I am a fan of games like Age of Empires, and one of the first things I wanted to learn was how to control units across the map. So here's my first attempt at doing this. Okay, it looks like trash. Well, after doing some research, I discovered that Age of Empires uses a grid system. So I built a tile-based world where I can move a circle using the nearest path search algorithm. But it still looked like trash. So I improved the graphics a bit. My decision to make an isometric pixel art style game is due to this channel. So for a little context, my game has been a 2D isometric pixel art game on a grid-based world, which means that all the sprites are two-dimensional and it makes the game look a little flat and boring. So let's change that with some 3D lights. Well, kind of. It is obviously not possible to use a real 3D lighting system on two-dimensional sprites. However, this is where a little trick called normal maps comes in. A normal map is basically just a second texture that gets slapped onto the original, but it contains information about which part of this sprite is facing into which direction. This is done by just taking the sprite and coloring the certain areas with these colors. Now that the engine knows where each part of the sprite is facing, we can use this in combination with the 2D lighting system, which Unity thankfully already comes with. And as you can see now, the light does not illuminate the entire sprite smoothly, but actually creates a three-dimensional effect. Well, that plus the fact that all my characters move in 8 directions creates a very realistic faux 3D effect. Okay, getting back to my game. The next step was deciding what my game would be about. I decided to call it Space Evolver. It would be about managing a colony of creatures that would be constantly evolving, and the entire course of the game would take place on a spaceship, since I'm a big fan of FTL. So I decided to add some animations to make it more visually appealing. Here's the result. They ate, they drank water, they pooped, and like all living things, these creatures reproduced. In addition, the creatures need to sleep. So using the lighting system and normal maps, I created a day-night system and added animations for the creatures to sleep. So, that's how I got to this point. However, I still need to define how the player will interact with this ecosystem. I hope you enjoyed this short video. I'll upload my next devlog soon. Help me out by subscribing to my accounts and adding my game to your wishlist. And here's my favorite bug so far. Thank you.